I'm here with Ben Adams from Bring Our Troops Home. Thank you for coming to Town Hall Media today. We're live at CPAC. It's very exciting and fun. Tell me about your organization. It's called Bring Our Troops Home. I've been on the bandwagon to bring our troops home for a very long time. I lost my cousin in Afghanistan on his third tour. And I'll tell you what, the toll on American families that this longest war we've ever been in is immeasurable. So tell me about your organization, because I feel like I need to know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started less than a year ago, actually, in Boise, Idaho. A friend of mine who is also an Afghanistan veteran, we had heard President Trump saying, hey, we need to bring the troops home. And as a Afghanistan veteran myself, I was there in 2011 and 2012, and Dan McKnight, the other founding member, he was there in 2006. So we both were thinking, okay, well, we agree. How do we do that in a responsible way to where it actually doesn't expose us on the back end, right? Like in Iraq when President Obama pulled our troops out and ISIS rose right up.
Right.
How do we avoid those situations? So we started brainstorming, and we had our answer. It's written in the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8. Congress has the authority to declare war. So our approach is simple. You repeal, or you let the 2001 and the 2002 authorizational uses of military force, which are exceptionally broad, they're exceptionally vague, and they abdicate all of Congress's power over the war powers, right? Abdicate that to the executive. So there's no check, and so there's no consistent check on that. So we got
let that expire?
Yeah, we let it expire.
And then what? How do you keep the forces of, well, evil or whatever from rising up again?
Yes. So
at this point, I don't even really care, to tell you the truth.
I know.
I don't. I mean, as an American person who has suffered a family loss from this, I don't care what they do over there anymore. I don't care. I don't know why we're there, and I'd like it to just end already.
Yeah.
Do we really need to worry about what's going on in Afghanistan when we have families suffering here at home?
Yes. Well, and I would tend to agree with you, especially in Afghanistan. I tend to look at things from a geopolitical, strategic perspective. And so the concept of us completely bringing back every single soldier and bringing them all back to the United States and leaving all these places that we've placed ourselves, we have to remember that we placed ourselves in a lot of those places for our own protection as well. So a complete, pull out and, let's just become isolationists, I don't tend to lean that way, but when it comes to getting out of these wars that don't have an end game, that don't have a clear objective or a clear mission and haven't had them for a long time, like Afghanistan, the answer is simple to me. What we would like to do after those 2001, 2002 AUMF authorizations, they expire, we want Congress to actually do their job. How crazy is that? So we want Congress...
Good luck.
Yes, right? Well, here's the thing. Right now, all Congress talks about are the divisive issues, the partisan issues. Healthcare, no healthcare. Gun control, no gun control. Right? These are the issues they talk about. But the elephant in the room that everybody should be able to get on board with is how we are dealing with national security, how we are dealing with our wars that we've expanded in. We are now in well over 80 countries. We have up to 40,000 troops in Africa. Nobody talks about that, right?
Yeah, right.
So it's completely unchecked. So what we would like is we want those authorizational use of military force to expire, and we want Congress to go through and debate it. Talk about the vices, talk about the virtues. What is the purpose of us being there, right? What are the benefits? What are the drawbacks of us leaving? What are the positives of us leaving?
And what do we want? What is the goal? And if we've reached that goal, then we need to leave.
Yes. Now, specifically with Afghanistan, so I was there in 2012, I mentioned, and we were working to train the Afghan police, right? Well, they have a fundamental, they fundamentally have a different foundation morally, ethically. Their worldview is completely different than ours, than the Western worldview. And so when we say, oh, we're going to give them a democratic rule of law, it's not sustainable because the people don't embrace that. They don't embrace the same ideals that are required to hold
This
it up.
is that concept of nation building that I don't think we really should be involved in. We have our own nation to take care of and our own problems. But thank you so much for coming here. And where can people find your organization? What can they do to help? Do they need to lobby their congressman? What do we do?
Yeah, so you can find us at bringourtroopshome.us. There's a place to donate there. There's contacts on how to get in contact with your congressman, how to lobby for us, how to really speak and really communicate the message well enough, because there's always that question of, well, what happens when we leave? What happens when our troops come out? What is Afghanistan turning to? We can't let it be a safe haven for terrorists. And frankly, I agree, because it's a wild land. It's the wild, wild west in Helmand Province, Afghanistan. Well, I would say this real quick. We have built a massive network of fingerprintings and retinal scans in Afghanistan that they never had 20 years ago, that our security agencies use to track known terrorists. I believe we can remove our military troops from Afghanistan at this point. We can remove all of them
and use that technology.
Give it to the security agencies that are already operating in the area and have been operating for 20 years before the DoD ever showed up.
Well, I think that sounds like a great idea. Thank you so much, Ben, for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.